By the end of this video, I'm going to give you one thing you can change inside your home tonight. Not a purchase, not a renovation, not a system. That shifts the entire feeling of the space your family lives in. It's smaller than you think, and it matters more than almost anything else in your four walls. I want you to think about the last time you walked into someone's home and felt something shift inside you. Not because it was expensive, not because it was perfectly decorated, but because something about it made your shoulders drop, made you breathe a little slower, made the noise inside your head go just slightly quieter. Most of us have felt that once. Maybe in a friend's house, maybe in a small hotel room somewhere on a trip we still think about. And most of us have spent years trying to recreate that feeling in our own homes, and failing in ways we can't quite name. There is a woman named Michiko. She lives in a small apartment in Kyoto with her husband and 2 children. The apartment is not large. It is not expensively furnished. There is no interior designer involved, no carefully curated aesthetic, no mood board on Pinterest. But every person who has ever walked through her door has said the same thing, almost word for word. Something about this place feels different. And Michiko would smile at that, because she knows exactly why. And it has nothing to do with the apartment. There is a concept in Japanese culture that most Western homes have never been introduced to. Ma. It is one of those words that doesn't translate cleanly into English, which is part of why we've missed it for so long. The closest we can get is negative space. The intentional gap. The pause between things that gives everything around it meaning. In music, ma is the silence between notes that makes the melody feel like something. In conversation, ma is the pause that lets what was just said actually land. And in a home, ma is the empty space that allows the people inside it to breathe. Japanese homes are designed around absence as much as presence. What is not in the room matters as much as what is. A bare wall is not a wall waiting to be filled. It is a wall doing its job, giving the eye somewhere to rest. And here is where it connects to something most of us feel, but cannot name. When a room is full, every surface covered, every corner occupied, every wall claimed, the nervous system of the person inside it is quietly, constantly working, processing, categorizing, deciding what deserves attention. It is exhausting in a way that is too subtle to identify but too constant to ignore. A room built around ma gives the nervous system permission to stop, to find an edge and rest there. That is what Michiko's guests feel when they walk through her door. Not decoration. Relief. Quick pause. I want you to do something right now, not just listen. Think of one surface in your home. One shelf, one counter, one corner that has become a landing place for things that don't quite belong anywhere. You know the one. Hold it in your mind, because I'm going to come back to it at the end of this video with something specific. But ma is only the first layer, because the peacefulness of Japanese homes isn't just about what's in the space. It's about what happens at the threshold of it. In Japan, there is a small architectural feature found in nearly every home, the Genkan. It is the entryway, a lowered floor just inside the front door, where shoes are removed before stepping inside. Most Western visitors to Japan assume this is about cleanliness, keeping dirt outside. And yes, partly. But that is the surface reading. What the Genkan actually does is create a ritual of transition. A moment, physically built into the architecture of the home, where the outside world is consciously left behind. The act of removing your shoes, stepping up into the home. It is a boundary, a breath, a signal to the body that what happens here is different from what happens out there. Japanese families don't arrive home and immediately carry the stress of the day into the living room, the kitchen, the dinner table. The Genkan interrupts that. It creates a pause between worlds. And what children who grow up with this ritual learn, without ever being taught it explicitly, is that home is a different kind of place, that it operates by different rules, that something is being protected inside these walls that is worth the small ceremony of the threshold. That sense of protection, felt, not explained, is a significant part of why Japanese homes feel the way they do. The third layer is the one I find most quietly powerful. In Japanese homes, particularly in traditional spaces, there is often one room, or one corner of a room, called the Tokonoma. It is an alcove. A small, intentional display space. Usually just one object. A single flower in a vase. A piece of calligraphy. A small stone. One thing. Chosen with care. Placed with intention. Changed with the seasons. And the philosophy behind it. The idea that one beautiful thing, given space and attention, is worth more than 100 things crowded together, runs through everything about the way Japanese people think about their homes. It is the opposite of accumulation. It is the belief that meaning comes from selection. That what you choose to keep, and what you choose to let go of, says everything about what you actually value. This is not minimalism as an aesthetic trend. This is a relationship with objects that is rooted in respect. Respect for the thing. Respect for the space. Respect for the people who live inside it. And children who grow up inside that relationship, who are taught from the beginning that things are chosen carefully and treated with care, they carry that into how they move through every space they ever inhabit. If this gave you something today, share it with someone who needs to feel that shift in their own home. And if you want to keep exploring the quiet wisdom that Japan has been living for centuries, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. So,